I got a really great video for you regarding the sun and the moon, the size of the sun and the moon according to the book of Enoch. The size of the sun and moon according to the book of Enoch are both equal. Okay, this goes against what you were taught in science. Okay, science tells you that one is 400 times bigger than the other. Okay, but they just so happen they appear to be the same size in the sky. This is what they're going to tell you, but the odds of that, they tell you it's 1,000,000,000,000 to 1. I mean, this is a lie that they taught you. You can look up in the sky, you know that you see the sun, you feel the warmth of the sun, you know it's not 93 million miles away, and you see the moon and you see that they're both the same size, but you dismiss it because science is telling you what they tell you. But what does the book of Enoch say? And let me tell you, this is the reason why they took the book of Enoch out of the Bible. They can't have this book in the Bible because it goes against science and what the lie that they're trying to tell you. Now look at this lie. And if you go to chapter 72, I have another video about how the sun and moon works, how the sun and moon work in relation with each other. The sun will lose power, but the moon will charge back the sun. The moon will charge back the sun because the moon actually grows in light. The moon is light. That's according to the book of Enoch. And the moon will grow in light. And what happens is the sun will transfer its light into the moon, causing a charging sequence, and the moon will grow by one portion of light. And then the moon has an advanced charge more than it was given, and it would in turn transfer back into the sun and recharge the sun. This happens every month, and this is according to the book of Enoch. I got another video on that, but I want to show you how with this chapter 70 right here, if you look at 72:37, its appearance. Okay, now it says that this is what they'll tell you. Oh, it just it's what how it appears, but it says here, right here, it says that the moon, but as it's right here, as regards to the size, they are both equal. See right here, but I tell you that the sun is 7 folds brighter than the moon. In other words, has 7 times more light, because the moon does have light. It's not moon dust. It's not moon dust. They both have light. You can see obviously they both have light. Now that's another thing science tells you, that moon dust is generating the light that you see. But it's either moon dust or it has a light, and the sun is 7 folds brighter. Okay, that's what the book of Enoch tells you. That's why it was removed. But they want to say that the size, they are both equal. See, now they'll say, oh well, that's because you look in the sky and they show you that they're both equal. But look at the other translations right here. But the dimensions, see, look at dimensions of both are equal. See that? And all these are 3 different translations here. And regarding size, again, they are both equal. Dimensions are equal. So here's one chapter that they tell you that the sun and moon have the same dimensions. Okay, same dimensions. Not okay. So you have to understand the dimensions. Now, if you look at other books, they're extended for the same. They have other translations that they say they're extended, but anything that's extended is a measurement, and if they're extended for the same purpose, that means that that's still a measurement, and that still could be considered dimensions of both are equal. That's why this translation has this, and these are the 3 different ones here that I can give you examples of. So yes, they're just as you see. They're equal, and they are equal according to the book of Enoch. Now you see why they had to get rid of this book. Now, does it say it again? Sure, it does say it again. I'm going to show you another chapter where it does say it again. So you have two chapters, okay? Now, you have two chapters that will have this in there, okay? And I want to show you here that about the moon, okay? Before we get into the other place where it says that, okay? It says here that, okay, there's nothing else in her except her light. Now it's talking about the moon, okay? This is we're speaking about the moon in this chapter, but there's nothing. All these chapters say there's nothing else in her except light. So we know the moon is light. There's light in the moon, okay? But they will not tell you that. They're going to tell you that you have moon dust you're dealing with. But this book tells you that not it has light, okay? It has light, and it's very and it tells you everything you need to know about how the relations. First of all, the book says they have the sun and moon have relations with each other. They have relations, okay? And if you look at how it has light and it gets charged, and on the light becomes full on the 14th day. See, that's not just real briefly. I'm going to show you that, and everything's accomplished on the 14th day. So the sun transfers the light, according to this book, into the moon. Okay, because it's all the moon's a holder of light. Okay, and then it grows by addition. See, the moon grows by the addition of the 14th. Okay, it becomes 15 parts. Okay, 15 parts. And then it starts to wane. Okay, which means decrease. In other words, it's going to transfer her light back into the sun. But when it transfers the light back into the sun, it transfers more light back into the sun than the sun gave it. You understand? So this is what the book is trying to tell you. Okay, and it is very, very, very interesting that you see this, and you have to really look at this book and understand that what it's telling you. Okay, and now if I can just find the other verse where it shows you right here. Okay, now the circumference. Now it's telling you about the circumference. See, look at this. The circumference of both are alike. They are equal. See, look at the dimensions again. See, dimensions are equal. See, and this is chapter 78. Okay, and the size are both equal. So here's another verse. Okay, that it's going to tell you that the sun and the moon are the dimensions, the circumference of them are equal. So I showed you two places where the sun and moon are equal. The dimensions are the same. So the reason why they took the book of Enoch out is because it teaches you against astronomy. It teaches you against that. And does this book, and they teach you astrology and astronomy, and they teach this to you, these things, but they were taught to you to destroy you. It was the biggest lie that they've ever taught. And if you look at today, everything's based on this lie. All the money that's being, moved in the earth and taken from you, and they're showing you that, hey, this is just by chance here. There's nothing else. There's a closed circuit here. They want to show you this because they got you trapped here. You're to till the soil, just like Genesis 2 says. But let me show you real quick where this lie is shown in the book of Enoch. I'm just going to show you that. and you'll see what I'm talking about, because it says here in chapter 8, okay, it says real quick that they taught you. See, Barakil, this name Barakil, taught astrology. I know it says astrology, okay, but that's not astronomy. But did they change things? And they want to tell you that the signs of the sun and the course of the moon, look at this. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. So this they're going to be corrupt. They're going to corrupt their ways in their ways. They're going to teach all these things, but astrology is not astronomy. But look, if you go into the other verses, Tamiel taught astronomy. You see this right here? Taught astronomy, okay? And they taught the motions of the moon. They taught you these other things and the men being destroyed. Look, yeah, they taught you astronomy. They taught you all these things, and this is what destroys man. And it's documented. Look, this is going to be the biggest one, because everything, your life, believe it or not, hinges on this one lie right here. And it's the lie of astronomy, okay? And this is the reason why they had to take the book of Enoch out of the Bible, because it teaches you, and there's other parts of this book, it'll teach you that astronomy and what they taught you about the sun and moon is wrong. They want to tell you about moon dust. They want to tell you about one's 400 times bigger than the other, but they want to tell you that water's bending around a ball and you're in a close loop. And they did that on purpose, because that's a way that very smart people, and they can perpetrate a lie. And they perpetrated this lie, but the book of Enoch tells you about everything you need to know about the sun and the moon and how they work. And they removed it. Of course, they removed it because they had to, because this book, they didn't want you to know these type of things. So that's what I wanted to show you, how the sun and the moon, the dimensions are both equal according to the book of Enoch. And it says right there 2 times. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I'll be making more videos. Thanks for watching.